What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video, man. Today we are going to be talking about being the greatest man in your bloodline. Be the greatest man that your bloodline has ever seen. First of all, I want to let you guys know that it is part of your purpose. It is part of your purpose to be the greatest man that your bloodline has ever seen. Not only because of how hard all your ancestors have worked in order for you to be breathing, but because naturally and biologically we need to evolve. As men, as humans, we need to evolve. As a man, we need to set a certain foundation for our future family, for our future kids. I want you to imagine this. Imagine that your kid asks you, "Hey dad, I'm having some trouble at school. This and this and this is happening. I'm in this situation and I really need your advice. What should I do?" Or maybe it's something more serious. Imagine your kid is asking you, "Hey dad, I really need some help. I don't know what to do, man. I've been struggling a lot with this mental issue. I'm very lonely. I have no motivation. These little mental obstacles." And you're lucky enough that your kid is coming to you for help. And you don't know how to help him because you never overcame those obstacles. You never experienced that pain. You never got over that pain. You've never learned and gained wisdom from all the struggle that you have faced earlier in your life. Do you want to be in that situation? Because I know I don't want to be in that situation. I know that I need to work. I need to put in that work. I need to grind. I need to go to the gym every day. I need to do all these things in order to gain wisdom, in order to gain mental strength and discipline. So when my kid asks me that in the future, when I get asked that question, I know what to do. I know how to help him. I know how to shape him up to be a better man than I am, to work harder than I do, to have a better life than I do. I want you guys to think about this. Your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and so on and so forth, have each sacrificed so much just for you to be breathing, just for you to be alive. I want you to think about that. In my situation, I'm from Serbia, and not even my grandpa, not even my great-grandpa, my father has changed the bloodline more than anybody else so far. He has moved to the US. If I look in my family history, for generations, since the beginning of time, we have been in Serbia. My father came to the US with $200 in 2008. $200. I was only 1 year old. He came here alone, barely knowing anybody, not knowing the language. He came into this alien world so I can have a better life. He has done and sacrificed so much to be the greatest man in the bloodline. And because he did that, it is my job. It is your job. It is our job as the next generation to be even better than our past generations, to be the greatest our bloodline has seen yet. So if you're here sitting down and you're thinking to yourself, "I can't go to the gym, man. I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't feel like going to college. I don't feel like going to school. I don't feel like working. I don't feel like getting a job. I don't feel like waking up early and running outside. I don't feel like doing this, doing that. I don't feel like grinding. I don't feel like improving. I don't feel like journaling. I don't feel like reading. I don't feel like getting closer to God. I don't feel like doing so many things." Why don't you look at what your father did? Why don't you look at what your grandfather did, or what your mother did, or what your grandmother did? Why don't you look at what they did? You think they felt like it? You think my father felt like coming here? You think he wasn't comfortable in Serbia with his friends, knowing the streets in the city he grew up with? You think that was comfortable? You think he wanted to come here? You think your grandfather or your grandmother wanted to do the things that they needed to do in order to provide, in order to sacrifice? You think they wanted to make those sacrifices? No, they needed to. So just like back then, they needed to sacrifice things. You need to sacrifice. What do you need to sacrifice? You need to sacrifice your time. You need to sacrifice all this hard work, all this grinding. You need to sacrifice partying. You need to sacrifice being in a relationship. You need to sacrifice so many things that other people aren't sacrificing in order to be the greatest in your bloodline, in order to pass down generational wealth, generational wisdom, generational strength, generational discipline that your father hasn't given enough. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. But at the end of the day, regardless, you need to give more. That's how it is. That is the nature of us. That is the human nature. That is the nature in our world. You need to be better than your father has been or that your mother has been. And your son needs to be better than you or your wife. I want to get this point across. If you guys don't get anything from this video, at least understand this. You are a waste of space, a waste of life, a waste of sacrifices if you do not do your job, if you do not take advantage of what your parents and your bloodline has sacrificed for you. Do you really want to waste your life for some temporary pleasure? Do you really want to waste your progress, your kids' lives, because you want to go out partying and you don't want to work and you don't want to complete your degree, or you don't want to complete your certificates or get a great paying job so your kids can grow up more comfortably than you? Are you telling me that you want to sacrifice your kids' lives because you want to party? Because you don't feel like waking up and going to the gym? Because you don't feel like improving on yourself and being stronger? Just like we have to sacrifice partying, we have to sacrifice fun, temporary pleasure in order for our kids to have good lives, in order for us to have good lives. It works both ways. It is a double-edged sword. We need to sacrifice partying so we have a good life. We need to sacrifice our good life so we can party. It works both ways. Your future kid does not deserve a weak father. Your future kid does not deserve somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. And I'm going to be honest with you. You're not really going to know what you're doing. And I don't have experience as a parent. But if and when I do become a parent, I know that I'm going to gather enough discipline and enough mental strength and enough wisdom in order to provide for my kid. I guarantee you, no matter how much I know what I am doing, I am never going to let my son or my daughter or my children suffer as much as I did. Just like my father doesn't want me to suffer as much as he did, and so on and so forth. No matter if I know what I'm doing or if I don't, I'm going to give my best and I'm going to give my all, literally, for my children to have the best lives possible. But I'm going to give my best to discipline them and shape my son up to be a man, shape my daughter up to be a good woman in our society. I want to shape my children up, and I can only do that if I shaped myself up. I don't know if you guys see this full circle. You need to shape yourself up. You need to work on yourself so you can shape your children up, so you can show them the right way. You need to know the right way so you can show them the right way. Why do you think so many children grow up to be bad people? Because their parents never figured out how to be good people either. You got to figure it out so your children don't have to. You have to figure it out so your children don't have to. Think about that. So, that was basically part 1 of the video. I wanted to explain to you guys why you guys should be the best in your bloodline. Yet, now for part 2, I want to explain to you guys how you can do it. How can you be the best in your bloodline? Number 1, I want you guys to be grateful for your family. It doesn't matter if you guys have a bad relationship with your family. It doesn't matter if you guys aren't close with your family. It doesn't matter. I need you guys to be grateful for what your family has done. Regardless if you guys are immigrants, regardless if you guys suffered for, some civil rights movements or from war, regardless of what's happening, everybody's situation is different. Be grateful for your family, man. Like I said earlier, they sacrifice so much, and you have to be grateful for that in order to start the process of being the greatest in your bloodline. Next up, you need to understand how much actually was sacrificed. A lot of people don't think about this, and we don't really focus too much on this. But from an evolution perspective, from generation to generation to generation to generation, all the way so on and so forth, I don't think people understand that they have sacrificed so much in order for you in 2024 or whenever you're watching to breathe, to live. Think about that. So many things had to fall into place. So many perfect things had to fall into place so you can be born. So many little things God had to adjust. God had to perfect in his plan so you can be born. It is a special thing that you are watching this right now, that you are listening to my words right now, and that you are alive and that you are breathing. I don't care what year it is. I don't care what time it is. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what situation you are in. You are breathing right now. You are alive, man. You have life in you. And as long as you have life in you, you have time to change this generational curse that you might be in, to change the struggle that you might be in, to change the financial situation that you might be in. As long as you are alive, you have time. Now I am going to make a separate video about the gift of waking up every morning. But what I want you guys to get from this video right here is, in order to be the greatest in your bloodline, you need to put in that work, man. Not just for yourself, but for your future children, for their children, and for generations to come. People don't understand how difficult it is to be a parent. And I'm not a parent, but many people don't understand. People don't understand how difficult it is to continue your bloodline. It's harder than ever, man. Statistically, it is harder than ever to find the right wife in our Western society world. It is harder than ever to, to be strong, to be disciplined for your children. Why do you think our society is going down, man? Why do you think our society is being so sexualized? Why do you think there's so many more mental problems and mental diseases and mental issues than before? It's not only because of social media, it's because of how difficult it is to be strong. So, just like anything, it is a double-ended sword. It is so hard to be strong, yet it is so easy to be among the strong ones. Why? Nobody wants to put in that work more than ever. Nobody understands how critical it is to actually put in that work, actually put in that effort. And if you're watching this, and if you're subscribed to my channel, you understand that it is difficult. You understand that it is something that needs to be done. So if you do that, you are already set apart from so many people. And your children will be set apart from so many other children. This isn't about comparing yourself to others. This isn't about competition. This is purely statistical. If you look at other people in today's society in 2024, barely anybody actually wants to put in that work. We are so addicted to short-term temporary pleasure and instant gratification and likes and comments and views and lust that we don't understand how damaging it is to our future and our children's future. So, with that being said, guys, please, man, be the best in your bloodline. Work hard. Be the best in your bloodline, man. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the new little quality that I have set up here. And yeah, man, if you guys haven't seen my last video, it's going to be here or here, one or the other. And yeah, man, I really hope that everybody is doing amazing. I really hope that everything is great. And, like I said in my last video, I will continue documenting my struggles, so you guys don't feel alone, so you guys know that you're not the only one struggling with some stuff. I am too. I'm struggling with a lot of things. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless. Peace.